Hey there, I'm going to try and show you how to do some horror makeup since it's almost Halloween, and you know I do that kind of stuff all year round. First thing you want to do is make sure your hair is out of the way because you don't want to get any of the latex in it because it's just a pain to get out. And then make sure your face is all nice and clean. And then we're going to start with some liquid latex. Now I'm using a kit that I have from a class that I took, but there's plenty of other stuff that you can use from the Halloween store or even your own makeup kit. Okay. I'm gonna do a couple things here for you. Now, this liquid latex, as some of you already know, I actually have an allergy to it, so yeah. Hope you appreciate this. It does smell really, really bad. And it's gonna make your eyes burn if you get close to them. I am just doing an outline right now of where I am, well, I'm gonna fill it in too, but of where I want this piece to be, because I'm going to do a torn piece here of, so it looks like the skin's coming off, and yeah, and then I'm going to do a burn on the other side, and attempt to do a bullet hole in my forehead and a cut. That's what I'm going to try and show you how to do. I'm going to do the bruising, but that's not with the latex, that's with just the makeup. Okay, so let's fill this in. You know what, this is going to be a really long video if I do all of that in one, so I think I'm going to break it up to make it easier. So this is going to be part 1 and just be this, and then I'll make part 2, 3, 4 for the other stuff. 5, whatever, however many I need. Because I don't really want to fast forward through the bits because I need to talk through some of the stuff to tell you. Okay, now, this is your first layer. Actually, no, because I'm going to do the other stuff while this is drying. Okay. That's your first layer. You're going to end up doing multiple layers on this to get the effect that you want. You need to wait for it to dry completely. If you want to speed up the process, you can use a blow dryer. Just, yeah. It will end up feeling dry, but almost a little tacky. If it's still coming off on your fingers, it's not dry completely. You are going to do that on this other side though. Make sure that these are sealed tight when you are not using it, because if you do not put the cap on tight, you end up getting this nasty, dried, goopy mess in there. Latex in the bottle is not good with air. So anytime you are not using it, put the lid on. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the base for the burn. This is fairly easy because you don't actually have to wait for it to dry completely to do it, so. And notice that I am, instead of just brushing it on, I'm actually tapping because it creates a texture. I'm going to create more of a texture with my finger in a little bit, but building it like this actually creates you a good base. My hair out the way. You can see that's a little splotchy already. That's how it's supposed to be. Trying to get this brush clean good. This is how I clean the brushes, by the way. I just peel the latex off of it, because you're going to get bits that are dried in there just from using it, and it ends up making it nasty, so I just peel it off with the wet and then roll on your fingers to get it off of your fingers, and then just throw the little things away. Okay. Waiting for this to dry. Let's go ahead and put oh, I know what else I can do too. I can do the nose. Okay. Let's put cut right here. So I'm just gonna put and now some of this stuff I actually, well, I'm not gonna say this, I've seen a lot of professionals do it the way I do it, but some of it's not exactly the best way to do it, but it works, and it was the easiest way for me to do it, so that's what I do. Let's see here. You're going to need, for this part, some nose putty or scar wax, and spirit gum. You guys can't read any of this. This camera's really not that good, I guess. Oh well. Okay. So, I'm gonna scrape some of this out. This wax. And let's see. Make a few things over here. If you have a problem with it sticking to your hands, you can use just any kind of powder. It will stick to your hands usually. It's really laggy. I'm sorry. Okay. So just put some in your hand like that, and then put the wax in, roll it around in it, and then start shaping. Which I'm going to try and make the helical first, so stretch it out into this, and then curl it around. A nice little circle. I'm actually going to do a couple of these because of the way I do it, but I don't know. See how it works. And then see where you want it. Looks all good. And you're going to put spirit down there to hold it on. You can open it. Wow, I didn't clean this one good. Okay, I got it open now. I had to go get some pliers. A nice little circle of it. Some of these, depending on which one you get, but a lot of them actually need you to tap on them to get them tacky. With something like this, I actually use the object. I'll sit there and there I have it right there. and push out the edges of it a little bit to kind of hold it down to your skin. This is a nice, easy thing to do. Especially with this wax, I actually did it with dental wax one time. You can do that too if you have it. It's just harder to work with. This stuff is really smooth and there's a way, if you, I don't know if I'm going to say this because it's just, if you don't paint over it, you can reuse it, but I hate saying that because if you leave it like this, look how cheesy it looks. And you really don't want to put the makeup over it and then put it back in the container. So just, it's one-time use, just all of this one-time use, that's it, okay? Once it goes on your face, it goes in the trash. Now, you can actually build these things into prosthetics if you do enough layers and peel them off and reuse them. You can do that with this as well with the latex. Just, it is the item it is once you use it. Just don't try saving it. It's really not worth it. Because, I mean, look. This was $7. It's really not that expensive. Now, looks like this is all dry. There's a little bit damp still a little here, but not, it's not coming off anymore, so go ahead and put another layer. This bottle is almost empty. This is my old one. I'm not using the one from the kit yet. I don't want to open it until I absolutely have to. Another layer on that. Let's put another layer on this side. Remember, this is the burn, so tap, tap, tap. You don't want your edges perfectly straight. Ooh. That's what we're doing with it anyways, so. Sorry about that. Not off. That's what really gets your brush nasty. You can use a separate one, but I haven't had a problem peeling this off. It actually works pretty decently well. Just using the one that comes with the bottle and then peeling all of the dry, gooey stuff off. Now that I say that, it's not going to. Almost got it. Okay, there we go. Mostly. And I'm going to put a layer of latex over this because it looks better when you do that, honestly. And it makes it easier to put the makeup on because the putty just, I don't know, it does what it needs to do really well, but it's not very friendly with your other stuff. There we go. I need to keep this bottle on its side so I don't keep having to stop. I would suggest, unless you're doing like a ton of this all at once, getting the smaller bottles like this, because they will over time, just because you have the lid off to use them, they will end up getting chunky, and that's great for burns, but not so great for general use. Let's go ahead and I'll see if I can. I've only done this part once. Again, a broken nose. I'm waiting for everything to dry. Get some more of the wax out. This stuff is disgusting. It's super sticky. Powder. Just rolling it into a ball. And then probably, well, right there would probably be the best spot. So I'm gonna have a problem opening this again. Okay, no I didn't, good. Put the spirit gum where it goes again. Okay, tap, 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 tap. Computer went to sleep, sorry. Smooth it out. I'm not guaranteeing this is going to come out good, because like I said, I've only done it once. And I was using my textbook to do it, actually. I'm doing it from memory now. More powder on my fingers. When you're working with it, you might want to add powder to your fingers too, because when you're molding it around, it gets sticky and disgusting and just not nice. Let's see, what do I have? See, and there's a nice bump on my nose now. Need some more powder over it because I don't want any wax to stick. Okay, so I'm using this and I'm covering this in the powder so it doesn't get stuck in it. Okay, now I'm going to take a little smaller bit and put an indentation. And then pull the edges, that indentation down so that they there we go. Okay. Back to the latex. And actually it doesn't even use this whole bottle to do what I'm doing, because I've used this to do this and more probably about a dozen times now. Until I learn. Okay, so this on here. Gonna add a few more layers to them, so I'm going to each of these. I'm going to pause the video and put them on. I would say that you want, depending on how thick you put them on, probably about 5 or 6 layers is what I usually use for this. I'm going to come back on the last layer for this burn, because I actually need to work with it while it's wet. This has to dry completely. All of the rest of this needs to dry completely before we do anything with it. So I'm going to go put those on and then come back on the last layer of the burn so I can show you what needs to be done while it's drying. Okay, now I have all of the layers on it. These that have the wax under them, you don't necessarily have to put as many layers. You can get away with like 2 or 3 layers and it look fine. I just put the last coat on this one. Now I'm going to show you what you need to do to get the burn. I'm going to use one finger just because it's easier to clean, but just go in and tap. And you're going to do this until you start it's dried enough that it's starting to peel when you do it. Wow, this camera's really not good. Let me see if I can turn this light on so you see the texture. There, see, you got more of a texture. It's gonna look a lot better once once we get the foundation on, which is what we're gonna do next. That one's not even dry yet. Okay, so do it last. Our foundation. I'm using just the cream makeup like I showed you inside of that box. You can use regular foundation. It depends on which one you have. Some of them, like the one that's got those like color change beads that like supposed to match your skin and stuff, it actually can eat holes in the latex, which is really weird. I don't know, but I've just had that happen when I used that one. So I use these cream makeups. It's really heavy. It's really disgusting, but for Halloween it works awesome. If you're doing it for a photo shoot or something, just use whatever you have though. Like liquid foundation is the best. So just, they're covering. I'm gonna cover my lips too because I'm gonna do something with them. Here. Just kind of, you're going over the latex, but be careful not to, make sure it's 100% dry before you do it, because you don't want to peel it off and you don't want to ruin your sponge. By the way, guys, you can actually wash these in the dishwasher. These are the 2 sponges that I'm using for this. This is the stipple sponge. You can wash them in the dishwasher. I don't happen to have a dishwasher, so I wash mine in the sink. I just hot water, rub them on the soap, and then roll them around in my hands until they're getting clean. But you want to microwave them if you're going to do that though, to get rid of all of the germs, because if you keep using the same sponges, it can actually make you break out. And I've been really busy, so I haven't been sleeping a lot, so yeah, I have all of this going on around my eyes, but I'm actually not going to cover it. I'm going to go around here, and then just go above my eyebrows, because I'm going to build on that and make it darker and more sunken in and just gross looking, because that's what we're going for. So now I know that this camera's not good enough for you to see how uneven this is, but it is pretty darn uneven, and I'm sure you can see a certain amount. Just try and get these prosthetics covered well, but it's not going to matter because we've been bruising over them, so this is really just to help blend. Get this dry. Good. Okay, now I was tapping that to check if it's dry. Don't tap this one until you think it is dry, and just test it a little bit, because there's like places on it that are still dark, and I was making sure that they're not. We don't want this one as bumpy as this one is. And this one you want to be sure and get the bottom with the foundation good, because that's the only place it's going to stay attached. We're going to peel it off and make it look like your face is falling off. Okay, so got that. Let's do the easiest thing first, which will be this cut here. Grab the very middle, as little as you can, and just pull it up a tiny bit. I'm using scissors to do this. Not the safest thing, like I said, but this is the easiest thing for me. Pull it up away from your skin, and then cut into it. Once you've got the little opening, slide the scissors in, and make your cut. You might have to hold the top so it doesn't end up peeling the whole thing off. So you want to be careful. You want to not go all the way to the edges, but almost. And then you'll take and just roll these back in either direction. And it looks like a big nasty wound. Then we're going to, I have these color palettes that are also, all of this is Ben Nye. All of the cream makeup I'm using is Ben Nye. You can use anything though. Going to, because I didn't bring the good blood, I'm going to do another video and show you how to make the good stuff. This is the crap from this box, and this stuff really is crap because it's so thin. I prefer to make it with the glycerin because it actually stays chunky and it clots and it looks amazing. This store-bought one is really thin and drippy, and it just kind of makes little spots of blood, and it's not pretty. It doesn't look realistic. It just looks like you splattered junk all over your face. So use a better one than I'm going to use and it'll look better. But, okay, we're going to go in this cut. Fill in the inside with the red. This helps, if you want to get a dark red, it actually looks really good. Like, I'm going to go I'm using this one right now. I'm going to go in and put some of this one in. It's a brownish, but it deepens the color and makes it look better underneath the blood. Okay. Yes. Okay. And then inside the bullet hole. And you don't have to be precise with these because really it can be. That's the fun thing about horror makeup is you can be really messy with it and it look great. Okay. This, I'm going to put the red underneath this when I peel it down, but I want to go ahead and do bruising over it before I peel it down. Okay, let me pause this. Okay, sorry about that, I had a phone call. I'm going to use the stipple sponge now. I am going to be using a little bit of this black, just very little because it looks bad if you don't, and pretty much all of these colors, also just a tiny bit of the yellow too, but I'm going to start with the yellow and just kind of add like a little nasty, pussy look. And go slightly outside of your lines that you've made with your latex. I'm going over all of this with it because I'm going to make layered bruising on all of it. You can do better, gosh, wow. There's different shades that you can do blending to blend in the edges of things like this if you don't want to do bruising around them. I'm just not, like, you probably want to find another video to do blending because I'm not the best at it. The realistic stuff anyways, like, this bruising, I guess, is a certain amount of blending. Yeah. So, just go over all of this. Now, this one, once we peel it down, we're going to go underneath it too, but bruise. I'm going heavier on this than I did on the burn because I don't really have a reason why I'm doing stuff. I'm just doing it, so. Oh, I missed this part of my nose, didn't I? There we go. Okay. Okay. Now that's a lot of yellow. I'm gonna cover some of it up there. Like I said, what I'm doing would probably be better for zombie makeup because I am doing all of this bruising and rotten look and just disgustingness. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really not good at explaining these, so I'm just gonna do stuff. Okay. Now, I want to in with our purple. I'm gonna smudge this around to make it look better. I'm gonna put quite a bit of the purple and the brown. And there, see, I'm starting to smudge it with still with the stipple sponge. just kind of tap, move to the side a tiny and lift. But it's see, we're still getting a good texture in there. This one you're gonna want more of the dark red, brown colors in because it being a burn. Going to put purple on it though. Now, these bruising, there is a way to do them with eyeshadow. I dislike the blend that I get with eyeshadow, so I prefer the cream makeup for bruising. Whatever you're comfortable with. And you can do this to your entire face, actually. Like, wonder. I might go ahead and do that. Actually, because I haven't done that before. And that would look really zombie-ish. You're going to want to do it down your neck if you decide to do this, though. I'm not doing that because, obviously, I'm just my t-shirt and stuff. You're going to want a shirt that can be mess if you're going to be a zombie. Pick the one you're going to, just wear the one you're going to wear. Put your blood all over it. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to pause and do my whole face. Okay, I put this mess on my entire face. Now I wash my sponge because I'm going to move on to 2 other colors in a minute. Do some deeper bruising around this eye. I'm gonna put it on here good, and then go with the sponge again to make it fit in with everything else. I'm gonna add some other colors to it to make everything better, but I just wanted this one to be deeper so it actually looks like a black eye. I use makeup remover cloths. I'm wiping my brushes off with them, and then after I'm done, I'm gonna wash my brushes. But this works good enough for while you're doing it. Just be sure everything is cleaned every time you use it, because, or if it's regular makeup, like, I don't know, depends on how much you put makeup on. I would really say once a week. But that's your choice. I'm just advising that so that, you know, my brain is really not working. To prevent the germs and helps you not get as many breakouts and stuff. Even if you have great skin, you can sometimes get breakouts from using dirty sponges and brushes. Yeah. Okay, so let's do bruising. Going in with brown. because I'm doing my whole face here, I'm going to only use the black on the parts that I did the scarring and stuff on, to create more of a definition to that area. And I'm doing this slightly because I don't want it too much on there. I'm gonna go in with the red afterwards. And the blood. This will really help this burn to look nice and crispy though. And the brown too, I can use. Okay, the edges of this I'm gonna have to touch up with the brush because the sponge just can't get around it. Now I am, like I said, trying to go for a light touch. Going for like a zombie type look. So. I'm gonna put the black on my lips. I don't have any glue. Let's do this around the side. And then I'm gonna go in with the red. This really isn't dark enough, is it? It looks really weird on video. My lighting in here. Oh, in the mirror, this looks really good. Let me see. Switching my lighting will help. It does a little bit. Darken this up a little. Make it look more bruised. And get your hairline. And I'm not going to do this because I would want to do it fade into the neck and you want to have less makeup on just because it's obnoxious. I'm going to put the red on pretty generously on this. This is our burn. Long ass video, sorry. This just takes a while to do. Anywhere you're going to put the blood, you kind of want to put the red in. It just deepens it. You want to put a little bit of red around this because of the bruising. Really, in theory, the whole thing is bruising like this because you're a zombie and your blood's pooling, but I guess if you really want to do it accurately, your arms and your legs you would do like this, and then so that's, it really doesn't matter if you're a zombie because it doesn't really exist, and I'm going by what actually happens to the body when you die and you start decaying. It actually goes to your extremities. So if you're a zombie, do whatever you want. Just look freaking awesome for Halloween. or whatever. So now we're going to take this one and peel. Slap that. Leave it unattached up here so it'll actually fall. There we go. Then go in here with the red. And just fill in this whole space, and you're going to want to fill in the back of this too. The easiest way to do this is to press it onto your face and just blot it on there. You're going to want to put blot on both sides of this too, because it's supposed to be an overwhelmed in your face. I'm going to go in with the darker as well as soon as I get this good and on. Almost done. We're going to be, like I said, we're going to put blood on this, so it's not too perfect. I'm going here, and put this one around this, one here. And the lips. Actually, I'm put red on the lips too because I'm doing this zombie thing. Might as well. Just wait. If you do store-bought bloods, I wouldn't suggest putting around your mouth. I'm gonna do it just because, to show you for the sake of showing you. But the one I'm gonna hopefully make later, you can use around your mouth. It's perfectly fine. It's not made with anything toxic. It's made with stuff really that you put in cake. Detail work here. Just for the sake of doing it. of the blood on. You can use Q-tips, you can use your fingers, whatever you want to do. There's no brush in that bottle, so I'm just going to use this Q-tip and my fingers, because that always works good. Get that out of the way. And here, it's not going to say where I put it because this stuff is crap, but if you're using the good one, I'm going to show you what you would do with the good one, just because I'm hoping you guys will listen and use it. You're going to want to put a good pool of blood inside your wounds. It's going to drip. This crap is going to drip right out. The other one will actually clot and make a nice drippy mess. Just ripped on my keyboard, so clean that off. I have glass on this table, by the way, so it won't stain it. Move my computer back so that it can drip on the glass instead of my computer. Dripping is good because it ends up giving you natural drips instead of you trying to create them. This actually makes them drip better if you tip your head back and do it. It makes it actually drip down your face and leave lines instead of here's the drip, and it takes a little while for it to drip, usually. Put some more here. And you can also dab it around the wounds because obviously they would bleed a lot. It wouldn't just be in one little area. I usually do the lip of the wound because if you smear it around, it looks really fake if you absolutely smear it around. So I usually try and do the lip of the wound, and then this one is just not dripping how I want it to. Oh well. And here, you want to get this good and bloody. There we go. Now I'm going to tip my head so it drips down the side of my eye into my eye, because I don't want to wipe it off. See what I mean? This stuff is getting really splotchy. It's not going on evenly in this wound. If you're using good stuff, it will. So just want to work like that's what I'm using. And yes, I'm making a huge mess all over my table. Like I said, that's why I have glass on it. In here, I want to put some on the back of this. Some flat. I'm going to keep attempting to make it look not as disgusting, but it's not gonna work. This just isn't good stuff. And then all over this burn, and this is when, by the way, you probably, yeah, you want to wear a shirt that you don't care if you're getting this all over, because it's gonna stain stuff. I try and show you one you can use on your clothing too if you don't want it stained. There's one you can make with laundry detergent, or I mean dish soap. Yeah, the liquid kind. There's one you can make with that it because it's soap, it doesn't stain your clothes. And some here. And this. And we'll put some around my mouth, because I'm a zombie. With the corners. Good. Okay. This, I know this one doesn't look as good as it could because if I had better blood it would look awesome. I'm just gonna wipe up this mess I've made here because I don't want stuff sticking. Yeah, that's really, I mean, we could fix this, I guess. Let's see what we can do. If you, let's see what we can do here. I'm using the dark brownish red and just kind of blend the lines in here because it looks very, I usually don't have to do this because if you're using the blood that actually clots, you get a big, like, goop of blood there, so it really doesn't end up having those lines like that. Yeah, that looks a little better, not the side really, but that looks better. Okay. Should try to follow this blood. This is wet. I'm just gonna shut up now.